Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Gemini Lounge. So, today, the Diaspora Wars, man. So, for years, conversations about race in America have often grouped everyone of African descent into one category. But beneath that label are very different histories, cultures, and experiences. In this episode of the Gemini Lounge Presents, we examine what I call the Diaspora Wars, the growing disagreement between some foundational, many more, foundational Black Americans and members of other Black diaspora communities, particularly as immigration and public policy become more controversial. So, in today's what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about it because this has been an ongoing issue that has culminated into these moments. And I think what we're not recognizing is kind of like everything coming together, and I'm actually very happy about that. And again, this is not to demonize any group. This isn't even that personal, to be honest with you. It becomes personal when the media and the pan-africanists and the globalists and the corporations and everybody that don't agree with the idea of protecting American citizens first, when they get involved, then it starts to become, something where it seems personal. Okay. What we're going to do, so rather than assuming that everyone has the same perspective, we'll ask some difficult questions. So as we watch the clips and discuss it, I want us to be thinking of why do these tensions even exist? What's really making it happen? I think as we watch some of the video clips, you'll hear the people identifying the reasons, and we'll elaborate more on that. How much is history responsible? Is this a thing about? Is this does white supremacy have anything to do with this? Hey, if you ask certain ones, definitely. If you ask other ones, no, this is not even that deep. Are politicians and media making these divisions worse? That's a clear cut, easy, obvious yes, I can say right off the back. And here's another one. Where do Black Americans and immigrant communities share common interests? Now, that's a deep one because that does get into history. And I want to make sure everybody know at the Gemini Lounge that I am a site, I am a channel that believes in reading and believes in research. And I am a historian. This is one of the books I read many years ago. It's called The Vengeance of the New World, which I read for a graduate course in history, and it's about the Haitian Revolution. And let me tell you, when I read this book and when I really understood what the Haitian Revolution was about, the good, the bad, and the ugly, that we'll see that we've kind of romanticized and we've kind of created, like we do often, which I argue, like in the Black community, for some reason. Well, I know why, because it's important to be prideful. And I guess at moments in history, Black people did not feel very prideful. So maybe we overcompensated some of the people who wrote books, who wrote history, the worry about our, self-esteem, some say. So they fudged the lines a little bit. They may have, you know, um, when exaggerated some of the things. Like, and I don't want to get too deep into it, but like one of these ideas is like we romanticize the Haitian Revolution as this thing where it was like blacks uprising against whites, and in some ways it was, but it wasn't really just that. Because what if most people realized that there were already Haitians there that were running the plantations? They was black Haitians or mixed because the French are a little bit more liberal. They're no, not a little bit, a lot more liberal than the English or the British. Where us foundational Black Americans, Jamaicans, we come from British backgrounds as far as those are the ones we dealt with. The French, just like with the Sioux Indians here in America and the French dealing with the Haitians, the French were more like they I don't know how should I put it. The French are the French, okay? They didn't have problems having babies and those babies, the rights, like having babies with slaves. They had babies with slaves, and a lot of those babies were mixed, and they grew up to be kind of like the leadership of the plantations. Okay, and the whole argument wasn't about freeing slaves; it was about giving the rights to elite Haitians, elite Haitians, to not be treated like the new African slaves that were coming over. It was not a thing. It only became where it became like all blacks, elite upper class Haitian blacks, and the brand new slaves coming into Saint Dominique or whatever they were calling it back then. Um, when it only became a really like everybody against the system when the French denied the upper class Haitians their rights under the Declaration of the Rights of Man. I mean, see, you really got to study your history, man. It's all in these books about the tennis courts, like how the French were fighting, they were beheading queens and remember these things really happened, man. And the Haitians got caught up in it, but they were trying to take advantage of the moment. They saw white, and the white liberals were taking advantage of the Haitians in that moment too. Because remember, I keep arguing, we as people of color, meaning black people, we kind of been caught in the middle of a lot of this stuff. Even when whites in other countries are fighting over their political ideologies, we often get caught in the middle of it. Okay, whatever. So again, my goal isn't to attack anyone. Okay. My goal is to have this conversation. Now, what is the Diaspora Wars really? The Diaspora Wars is basically because of this fake unity that's been created by politicians, this Pan-Africanism, professors, corporations. It's the same thing they're attempting to do with the Hispanics by putting all Latinos and Hispanics under one umbrella, as though Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and people from South America and Puerto Rico and like they're thousands of miles apart. A lot of these so-called Latino or Hispanic cultures. How could they all be the same? Because they were all conquered by the same Latin country, so they just grew. But this isn't to your advantage. I mean, in some ways it can be used that way, and we attempted to use it that way, Black Americans, and I think that's where we got in trouble politically. We've tried to use the idea of blackness being this blanket term to where we got like powers in numbers. So now when you see blacks, you don't see 20 million black FBA, foundational Black Americans, you see 40 million blacks. But the problem there is we underestimated that there was not much unity in these creations. And again, we're about to get into the clips, okay? But because of this fake combination of all of these groups, just putting them in this one big tent, like the Democrats like to say, it was never a real foundation. We forced it. So now, what do we have today, people? What we have now is the Diaspora Wars. And everybody's going to show their behinds. And you know what? I'm here for it. I'm cool with it. This young lady here, she kind of, I guess, set off the diaspora. Well, it's been already going on. But I think she kind of officially like she sent out the first lick. She gave the first lick. And my people, the foundational Black Americans, we always up for we always up for beef. I give you that. That's what we're gifted in beef, bro. That's what we do. That's what we do. I know a lot of countries because we've been relaxed the last few decades, man. Like we really been on some chill. I don't know, man. We got bougie and liberal and elite. We started trying to get money. We started doing all that. We've lost that little bit of gusto. We've been all unified, but I think the beast has been awoken, and I don't know if this is going to be a good thing for everyone else in the world. But let's take a look. Let's go through the Diaspora Wars and let's enjoy the show together. Uh-oh.
Cool.
Come on, internet.
That's all right. I'm Haitian.
See, she thinks she cute too. She thinks she cute. She ain't cute like that, yo. Let me start.
Why?
Look at her.
Where you from? What's your background? You American? Dirty Black American?
Wait, what?
Huh? What?
Wait, what'd you
American?
say?
Black American? What?
No. Hold on. You said dirty Black American.
You heard that? You just asked me what I said. I did.
Why you said that?
Because that's what y'all are. Dirty Black American.
She just said that?
I did. A dirty Black American. I sure did. Because that's what y'all are.
Just chill out on that dirty Black American comment. So Okay.
I'm sorry. You really took offense to that. I apologize.
Anybody would take offense to that.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't.
Why you said that? Though? Why you? I'm saying, why would you affix your lips to say that? Though I'm confused.
Because that's just my experience. Like,
Bruh.
it's my experience, so I'm gonna speak on it. But
I cannot.
Okay, people, man. You know, psychology, man. It could be very beneficial if it's used right, man. Let me get up here, man, and add my little 2 cents on this one. That's called projection, honestly. And let me be real with you, man. Again, I'm a New Yorker. And I teach, so I deal with these issues all the time. And I'm going to speak as someone growing up in these like hoods where a lot of the beef was happening. I also lived in East Orange on the border of Irvington and Newark. So if you know, like I think that's the largest Haitian population in the country. So I remember growing up in school in the 90s when like a lot of Haitian disasters and like students were coming into our schools. And like, listen, let's be real. This is what I've been complaining about. I don't mind. It's not about them as an individual group. It's that you're putting people from foreign countries into already economically depressed areas, man. We already violent with each other, okay? Like it's already bad in the hood already, man. And what do? You put people from war-torn, poverty-stricken, natural disaster. You don't put them in the nice white neighborhood where people can care for them and help them. You put them in the hood where we already struggling. And what do you think happens, man? It's like throwing a rabid dog in a pit with a group with more rabid dogs. It ain't gonna be nothing but fighting. It's gonna be nothing but greed. And this is where the politician part, where I said earlier, we need to pay attention to the politician part. Okay, but during that time, I do remember we made fun of Africans, but it was more we made fun of everyone. That's the point that they're not getting. See, the immigrants didn't realize everybody gets picked on. Everyone. It didn't matter. Like if they didn't just pick on Haitians, they didn't just pick on Africans, they didn't just pick on Asians, they picked on other black kids, they picked on short kids, they picked on tall kids, they picked on fat kids, they picked on too skinny kids. Everyone got it. But when you start to tell people, when people already feel different, because they are different, and they're obviously you're different than the people already are here, which kills this whole like we are one, because it never clicked that easily where you just brought foreigners in. We opened out like eventually through the whole tribalism of Africa being pushed on us by movies and TV and Roots and Kunta Kinte and all of this stuff and Shaka Zulu, which I love. Like I said, in the rap scene, the music scene, we are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. See, it's always about that money, man. It's always about that Skrilla, man. When we start talking about these, like, dealing with the diaspora. And that's something I like. I think Black Americans are finally understanding. Bro, this is like, we're getting hustled. Like we get nothing out of this deal, bro. Like why should American liberal whites get to act like they feel good? Like they feel good about themselves. Conservatives get cheap labor. Let's conservative whites get a bunch of cheap labor, the businessmen. What do we get in the communities that they thrust them in and tell them to blend? What do we get? Overcrowded hospitals, overcrowded schools, classrooms filled with half the class can't speak English. This is not beneficial to Black Americans in any way. So let's continue. I hear though, but at that projection, the projection part. See, we used to look at them that way. There was a lot of that look on, like when she refers to us as dirty. That's how they thought we looked at them. And so they doing, I guess, a reverse Uno on us and like, y'all the dirty ones. But I do know that they think they try to look down on us culturally, and that's okay. Maybe I don't care if we are the lower culture. The point is, this is the culture of this country. This is the culture that we're doing, and we're citizens, long-time citizens, foundational citizens. Before even America was America, a lot of us were already, our bloodlines were already here. And yeah, that means something. I know y'all want to say like it doesn't, but it does. It really does mean something, people. Let's continue. Let's continue.
I say I'm surprised by the backlash that the Haitian girl is getting for what she said about Black Americans. Because, baby, as a person born and raised in the county of Dade, a little
Okay.
Haiti baby, I got
Okay.
many stories and memories and all type of things about Haitians. The main thing I'm address is how y'all trying to sit up here and act like we was just bullying y'all and y'all didn't have no way of protecting yourselves, so y'all had to come together on y'all own, and that's how the Zopound came in is
Uh
to
huh.
protect y'all. Like all of that is fucking bullshit. I really
Yes.
hate that y'all try to
Yes.
spin this narrative about how y'all came about just because y'all got some jouet and now y'all trying to act like y'all beginnings ain't y'all beginnings. But I remember being in fourth grade and my fourth grade teacher turning on the local news
Facts.
and we saw y'all coming off of those boats being
Me too.
washed up ashore like
You seem
refugees.
younger.
And a couple days later, those same kids was in my classroom. I'm not even playing. I'm not even lying. They came straight from the boat through immigration,
Mhm.
got settled in, and was in
Mhm.
my classroom
Oh, the
the
internet
next
want to
week,
act
not
a fool
speaking no
today.
English, not knowing anything about us, about our culture, about nothing.
Allô,
Oh,
allô, bonjour, bonsoir.
okay, okay. I don't know. See if I could close some of these screens to see if I could, because they trying to kill the vibe right now. But she just said everything that I just mentioned a little while ago, didn't she? She mentioned exactly what I said about like it wasn't as personal as they making it, but you throwing people into already depressed communities that were like, we don't know you, like, but the government just decides to drop them in. And here's the thing: I remember in the '90s. I remember us defending them. That's what I remember in the '90s. I remember us defending Haitians. We like I remember like in Florida, like like well, we were what I remember they were like kicking the inner tubes back into the ocean. Like Florida was like, yo, y'all, nah, y'all not even landed. They was, yo, the what is it? The life, the whatever the military of the water is, the National Guard or whatever. They were kicking the inner tubes back in the ocean. Like, nah, buddy, nah, don't even land. And I remember Black Americans in New York. I remember that because again, New York, we're the mecca of like anything that's happening. We're gonna get word of it. It's gonna be disseminated through us. We were like organized, man, fighting for Haitians. So it's never been a thing where like we wasn't open and accepting. But I'm gonna keep it real with you. I feel like people became entitled to things that wasn't theirs, and they got very comfortable. It's like getting like somebody lets you stay at their house, and you're very respectful in the beginning. And I know they have a hard time understanding that Black Americans we feel the same ownership as a redneck. This is what, and we've done this. We've told this story where we're not real citizens and we're just slaves and oppressed, and we've been telling that story to the world for so many decades that people actually believe it, and they think we have no power here, and they think we have no status, and that we don't have no say, or that we don't feel that way about this country. The same way the redneck white men you think are the only ones. But I feel the same way. This is my country. You happy to visit? Be good. And we don't want anybody here. And just because you black don't mean that I want you here. Just because you black. And yes, I get to say things like that. That don't mean me alone gets to decide it. But guess what? I can go out there and I can galvanize and I can get enough people, and then there is power there. And that's what you're seeing with the delineation movement. So let's keep going.
Pour les video ça. My Black Americans, please don't come for all the Haitians and the Haitian Americans. Okay,
Okay.
don't come for me. Okay, I'm
Okay. I don't know what that means, but I'm listening.
not with that girl. That girl who said
Oh,
that foolishness, whatever she
oh,
had to say.
oh,
Don't we please
oh.
don't put all of us in the same category. Okay,
I
I'm not
won't,
with her.
sweetie. I
All right,
won't.
we Haitians, us Haitians, okay, was trying back in the 90s, early
What happened?
2000s,
Oh yeah, with
right?
yeah,
We
yeah.
don't
With
need
the,
that no
I
more.
mean,
We don't need that no more. We
I don't
don't.
know what she, I don't know what she means by like traumatized by us. Because again, that's fake narrative, bro. Blacks were not out here unaliving Haitians in the '90s. We had fights in school. Okay, yeah, gang, like there was already gang activity going on in these black neighborhoods before any Haitians or Jamaican. That's another thing, and I think a girl is going to address that. People don't realize we've been bringing people here for so long. Yo, the Jamaicans were wilding already. Jamaicans might have been the ones, because in Brooklyn, I know that the Jamaicans became a problem in Brooklyn with the shower posse. They were gangs. They were running. I don't know how we've allowed this to happen for decades, and I'm talking about 70s, 80s, like the Duddis, and all of them, the shower posse dudes, bro. They were called the 90s part of Brooklyn. They controlled whole sections of Brooklyn. And guess what? And then they brought in, and I used to live on Clarendon Road, so y'all know who know. That's Little Haiti, Clarendon Road, bro. I lived over there. Okay, I know. But the fact is, it's not like these are like all nice, peaceful people, man. A lot of them, become like Zopound gangs, and they're very violent, and they're very aggressive, and they move around with a sense of entitlement in America, a country that's not theirs. Similar to the way I see them move around in their own country. This is not everyone. Now, let me make that very clear, because I work with some wonderful Haitian families. Okay, I do, and they're great people. They're good people. But the sad thing I want to say, I think the internet has destroyed that. If you look into my archive, and I might bring it back out, I did a video maybe when I first started 2 years ago. This is hey, like and subscribe to the channel if you listen, man. I need to, and please support the channel, man. Send a donation to the channel. These subscriptions to these things, they definitely run up, and I'm just a teacher. But my point is, I did a video when I first started YouTube 10 years ago where I was basically saying how the old immigrants, like the Jamaicans and the different ones that would come in, that they represented what Black Americans, to me, what we used to be. I'm very critical of Black American culture. If you're on my channel and you pay attention, I actually want to trade in half these ninjas in my group. I would like to get rid of them, but here's the thing: that's the problem. They family. Even if you know how it is with family, you don't even have to like family, man. You can know they grimy and all that, but they still family. They get a plate. I gotta let them get a plate. But believe me, I'm well aware that my culture and my people, you actually, man, might be saving some of you Haitians to get away from us. But I don't know if we can save you anymore, because the internet is everywhere. The internet is everywhere. So we're no longer getting those hardworking, like people who are from the old school. We're getting the same garbage that we're producing here in America. The young ones we're getting, they're not dedicated. They're ratchet, like that first girl who was calling us dirty. That's the new immigrant. They're not like hardworking. They're selfish, entitled brats. But I'll be honest, that's American culture that's already been disseminated around the world via the internet. Walk with me.
We know you guys stick with us. We know that you
I don't go that far.
now, okay? We know that. All right. So don't let's not start that foolishness. Let's not start division again.
Hey, baby.
All right. She about to go for her.
Hey,
Go
I
for
hear
her
you.
and her only.
I hear
don't come
you.
for me. Don't come for any other Haitians, Americans, okay? We don't stand with her.
What?
She by herself. She over there. We over here.
Let me say
okay?
something, man.
Thank you so much. I need you to know that.
Okay.
Please don't
hey.
put all of us in the same thing.
Hey.
It ain't all the Haitians. It ain't
Hey,
all the
I
Haitian
hear you.
Americans.
I
All
hear
right, that
you.
want to say that
I
type of
hear
stuff.
you.
All right.
I hear
Please.
you.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Okay, baby. Okay. Listen, she's a sweetheart. I like her. They're just aggressive people, man. Like I lived over in where was that? Oh my God, the last stop on the L train, man. Canarsie. I lived above a Haitian family, man. Yo, they're violent as hell too. They were violent. The whole community was very violent. I'm not gonna lie. They're very aggressive, and even when they're talking nice to each other, it feels like they're about to argue. It just wasn't a good combination. Now listen, man. Like I said, the Jamaicans were a problem too, man. But we found a way to get along with them, man. Like I got comfortable. Like we know the Jamaicans and the Black Americans. We eventually blended. We could do business. We both dealing with the British background. But that French energy, let me tell you. Well, even amongst the Europeans, see, you think all white people are the same, a lot of like ignorant black people. You don't understand, bro. The French, I don't mess with the French. I'm like Al Bundy on that, bro. Like, I don't do French. Like, anything French. I don't, even though my mom, she gave me a French name. But I don't do the French. I don't like their energy. But, Mom, I can't promise you anything. I can't promise you this because I think like this because of like the new age. It's not personal though because we don't want Somalians. We don't want Arabs. We don't want Indians. We don't like. It's not. We don't want. We don't want large numbers of any of these groups being in. And we definitely don't want them in our neighborhoods. We want to have a chance to grow. We already got Puerto Ricans. We already got Italians. We got all kinds of people already. We got blacks already. We got enough Africans. We got enough Caribbeans that are American citizens. We don't need to bring in new people. Let's start making babies in here, bro. If you want more babies, let's start making babies here in the country. Get off that feminism garbage. Get off that liberal garbage and get back to making some babies, okay? We don't need to be bringing all these people. We need to be making Americans in America. If you want to crossbreed all kinds of stuff, we got enough to do all kinds of kaleidoscopes of humans, bro. We can get all kinds of crazy mixtures, and they will all be American citizens. That's the catch right there.
So all y'all talk about, oh, Haiti was the first. Haiti was the first to do that. We the ones responsible. We the ones. Bro, nobody wanted to be enslaved.
Right.
Y'all motherfuckers be pushing the narrative.
God darn internet.
Be acting like y'all was the only ones who didn't want to be enslaved. Nobody wanted to be enslaved. Slave rebellions
Yeah, I mean he's gonna go in.
have been happening since the beginning of time. In the 13 colonies.
That's a fact.
Georgia all the way up to New York, motherfuckers had already
That's a
been
fact.
rebelling.
That's a fact.
Before 1804.
That's a fact.
Over in Savannah,
I don't know.
Georgia, them folk drowned themselves
Okay.
in the river to keep from being enslaved. That was in like 1802, 1803. Before Haiti got their independence. Don't know rebellion that happened in like South Carolina. That shit was in like the early 1700s. Way before Haiti got their 21 years of independence. It's so many more slave rebellions that happened in the 1300s, all the way up to Virginia, to New York. Motherfuckers been rebelling. Y'all ain't the first ones to rebel, bro. Stop insinuating that. Y'all, and I say this with love too, bro. I say this with done since then. Trying to sound like
the brother dropped jewels there. I had to close some windows because it looks like my computer's lagging. But yeah, no, I got oh god, I spent 2 years studying all of like black revolutions. I mean, we're talking about down in Cuba. I mean, like it's all over the world. There's blacks are revolting all over the world. And here's the interesting part. That I'm going to be fair at the Gemini Lounge, man. I'm always going to be fair, even if I don't like something. I'm going to tell what I think is the truth. There was a time, like when you're talking about the 1800s, when the slave trade is really like in high gear. We are closer to each other in these moments because we are actually being taken from similar. See, what people don't understand about the slave trade. This is why I find you people who say before Columbus that we were here. You really have like underestimated how deep the system of slavery was. It was not something that just dudes on boats. It was insurance policies. It was documented, like ships, logs. It was so much money and big business involved in the transport and ownership of slaves. As in insuring the slaves, they had insurance on the boats, on the people on the boats. There was money involved. These are big transactions. It's all documented, people. Now the thing is, this was business, and it's inhuman business. But the truth is, man, slavery been going on from the beginning of the world's history, and that's not to take away from anybody's pain. It's just to tell you that to not take everything so personal, especially when today you're nowhere near a slave. You have all of the full freedoms and even some exceptions. Okay. We had affirmative action and different things like that. The point is, no system is going to make you still have to do something on your own, regardless of your story. Like everybody has a story. And I know it sounds like dismissive because in a way it is. It's very dismissive because you do have to realize that your pain is your pain. And the world doesn't owe you anything in today's market for your ancestors' pain. They just don't. And if they do, they got a scholarship for you, but you still got to study hard. You still got to do the work. If you could go to the military, maybe you can move up to captain quicker because of what happened to our ancestors. I don't know. I don't know the benefit. I don't know. I've never really had the. I guess I've taken advantages of some of my black card, but like ultimately, it's me going to school, going to get the degree that got me my job. I had to actually go to college and I had to study for 4 years and I had to graduate. That's what did it. It wasn't because I was black. Okay. When I got a basketball scholarship, it wasn't because I was black. I'm sure that helped, but it was because I was better than they thought somebody else, and they gave it to me. The point is, the responsibility is yours. But we were when they picked slaves, Africans were already doing all of the same crops that they were bringing them here to America to repeat on the plantations. This wasn't just going and grabbing random slaves. This was a big business where people from certain tribes that were good at growing certain things like dyes, indigo, rice, like every group didn't do the same thing. These Europeans were grabbing up specific skilled labor that knew how to do stuff. So you were grabbing people from the same tribe. And maybe you did get shipped off to different spots, but you were just part of that same tribe. So my point I'm making is we were closer as this African identity in this time. But after we got dropped off to wherever we were, we became part of that system. I don't know how much, I don't care if that breaks your heart or not. It's done. There's nothing you can do about it. I no longer eat African food. I don't even have a taste bud for anything African. I don't like Caribbean food for the most part, besides Jamaican beef patties. Besides Jamaican beef patties with a cocoa bread and some mozzarella cheese, I don't really do foreign food. But I eat some black American food. I eat my collard greens. I'm sure they got greens somewhere else. I eat my what black eyed peas and rice and my ham hocks and my I eat all of that stuff. Fried chicken. You know what I mean? But I also eat lasagna and all that too, because that's what I eat Chinese. That's America. We already everything. We can't really be that no more. We can't be that. Just like the Jamaicans, I guess listen, maybe being in America, because it's a little different than being on islands where you dominate the population. See, here in America, we got to adapt to the world, us FBA. This is what makes us great. Is that the fact that we on the front line of power. Like we dealing with the head monster, like power structure. We've been in it for hundreds of years in this game. So you gotta show respect to that. A lot of people that think they competing with us, you're in islands where you got the dominant numbers. That Haitian revolution was not that special. You outnumbered them like 100 to 1, and it was basically slaughtering defenseless YT people and families. Just disgusting depravity level stuff, to be honest with you. And I guess you can be proud of that, but like even for your soul to go somewhere that deep, I don't know. I don't know. I know some of y'all might understand what I'm trying to say. The rest of you just like that, American, or Haitian.
We got a lot of Haitians down here in Miami.
Okay.
And one thing we've noticed is that the Haitians have abandoned their whole culture in order to blend in with Black American culture.
Okay.
Cosplaying till they can't even play no more.
Let's talk about it.
I don't
Okay,
understand how you
let me let him
diss
cook.
people who you copy the most, the same people who let you into their culture. And now you act, talk, and walk like them. She's literally sitting in that chair with a wig and baby hairs. Where they do that at in Haiti at? Last time I checked, that's not what they rock out in Haiti. Do we got to show y'all pictures of
Okay, internet, let them cook, bro. Don't
how
mess
y'all
it
look
up now.
back at home? And yeah, we know it's not all
Okay,
y'all.
we ain't got to do all of that. Listen, man, I ain't into the personal attacks, but I will point out this one point he made that I think is very important. This is regarding hip hop and the foundation. Even when we start talking about Jamaicans and foreigners and even Puerto Ricans, bro, cut it out. Cut it out now. This is what he just said. we didn't even know who was sometimes like Jamaican, because some of them didn't openly just be Jamaican. Like when they went to school, when they were outside, they were FBA. We didn't know until we met their parents or maybe went to their house. So when they say they helped invent something, which version of them helped invent it? The one that was outside in the parks with us as FBA, or the ones at home who became Jamaican, who became or only spoke Spanish at the house? Even though I know New York Puerto Ricans don't speak Spanish, and they never did, I don't think. But I joke. But yeah, like which version? It wasn't because you wasn't being Jamaican or Caribbean outside when we saw you, because we didn't know that's what you was until we met your parents or went into your house and saw your culture. That's what we're talking about. What this gentleman is saying, he hits the point. Hip hop was not started with any cultural, like the foundation of it. Like they added to it, once it became cool and everything. When Q-Tip said, I point at Q-Tip and he states black is black. Like once we did the Pan African and we were all rocking African medallions, then everybody could be themselves. And then, they started adding their little, even though I want to argue we created reggaeton and the more modernized dancehall reggae. That's from hip hop. That's from hip hop. Because y'all was singing church songs, bro. I was singing, Old Testament Exodus songs what I remember remixing American popular songs. That's what I remember. Hip hop gave y'all that flavor. So you're gonna hear some clowns talking about we ain't got no culture, but we actually gave them culture, but they'll never see it that way. Let's get to it. Let's go. I'm tired of hearing about you. What's next? Oh, hey, another issue. Let's see another issue. Let's look at this.
Mayor Lightfoot with.
Here we go.
Oh, when they get to talking crazy like this, so we might as well put all y'all in one bar.
Facts.
In our community without our permission.
Shame.
Mayor Lightfoot would never pull this type of thing in anyone's neighborhood. She would not drop off a busload of Haitians in Little Village. She would not drop off a busload. Please withdraw your decision to put the migrants in our community.
Facts.
We already are struggling with the issue of fentanyl in our communities.
And more.
We don't need anything
More.
else to add to the struggles that we already
No more.
have. If there is a lack of resources in our community, we don't need anyone else to come in and suck those up.
That's right.
We're tired, Miss Lightfoot. We're tired, and we will not.
African Americans in this country.
Hold on. See now, and that's the thing. Democrats have been making us feel ashamed to say that for decades. They've stepped in there and made us feel ashamed to say, yo, like we need the resources to be used on us, not to be divided by an extra 10 million. Like if we got if we got $1 billion, we need it to be spent over here with the whatever amount of us, not to divide it up more to make it harder for why us? Why not the rich neighborhoods? Why not the rich liberals who claim to want to do all of this? These elites, but it's like Martha's Vineyard. Remember when Texas and them was sending the migrants to Martha's Vineyard? They had no part. See, we got to stop allowing this. See, black people, we've allowed the Democratic Party to like take over our churches, run our nonprofits, run our social programs, run our schools, run our universities, and they have indoctrinated us into feeling bad about protecting ourselves, making sure that we get something out of this. There's nothing shameful out of that. As a citizen, you should feel more entitled to the benefits of your country than people who just got here or people who are not even citizens. Why is that a controversial statement? Nowhere else in the world is that a controversial statement except in America, and specifically with black Americans, where we supposedly we got to split our chicken with everybody. Whatever chicken we can even get hold of, because it ain't that much chicken out there. Now, we're going to listen to, and let me tell you, I hope you start to feel the energy. And this is the energy I've always felt from like a lot of people. It ain't just them. It could be Arabs, it could be Indians from India. I get the same energy. That's why personally, I'm ready to shut it all down, all the way down. I don't really want nobody to come no more. Nobody. I don't like none of the new energy, and I didn't really like the old energy. But at least It was somewhat more respectful than what it is today. Let's listen to this arrogant jerk here.
Are the only groups. They have no culture. It depends on
No culture. Okay, I know they love saying that. Like
who you meet, where you meet them.
But currently, there's not an African American culture.
And she's Haitian, so
Yes,
this is not
there
even
is.
American.
What is
here.
it? Name two value systems in the African American culture.
Name two value systems in the African. You see how arrogant this jerk is? Listen, we don't click with these people. I'm trying to tell y'all that. You know it, I know it, bro. Like, they're not respectful people. I don't know if he's African, Haitian. She's Haitian. I think he's African. Don't know, don't care. Point is, I don't like the way they're talking. Okay, I don't like the energy. I don't want it around me. If he come around me talking like that, it's gonna be like, it's gonna get hot quick. It's like talking politics. If you put me, person like me, and this dude talking to me, it's gonna get physical probably. I think so. I think so.
Value
Name
system?
yes. Name two taboos in the African American culture system.
Taboos?
Name two traditions, by the way, in the African American culture.
I don't know what that. Everything that what we have Christmas, like we are American. We're not. First of all, okay, I see the problem. He keeps saying African. We're not doing that, bro. We're not doing that. We're not doing the African thing. No, we should have never did it. And again, this smart dummy here, like maybe he realizes that like that was some Jesse Jackson like political thing that had nothing to do. Like we actually did not want to be African Americans. We were cool with Black Americans. We are Black Americans, and that only means everything about America is part of our culture. If it has the word America in it, it's our culture, not ours alone. We share it. We were like American. That's the beauty of this country. This is why all of y'all want to be here. We share it. Just like I have Italian on Thursday, maybe, and I might have some Chinese on Tuesday, and I might eat some soul food on Sunday. Maybe Saturday night, I don't know what I'm eating, but I might be burgers and hot dogs, at the game with a beer. Who knows? That's all American, Baba. Baba. Baseball, football, basketball, music, dancing, art, pop, culture, dress, food. It's not. We're not an individual group that runs America. We are one of the many groups who built America, but we in it. We in it. We in it. We had more say in building our country than maybe you had in building your country. Because y'all all the same. We can't even identify you. Who's who? But y'all do got tribes and stuff like that. So don't let them fake the funk on you, bro. They divided as heck over there. All of these places are all divided by tribalism. And we've been indoctrinated to start thinking like them. And that's why we've been asleep the last 30 years. But we wakening up. We're awakening. We're awakening.
The system. There is no value for freedom if you don't understand what it is.
What are you talking about, bro? See, these Africans, man. Oh, my Lord, bro. See, they're going to make me go there, bro. You all got freed in the 1960s, like meaning you became independent countries. Your countries, and you still owe the Europeans. Like, we've been free since 1865, bro. It's individual. And let me give you some more history. A lot of us were free before 1865. Even while other blacks were slaves, they were free black men. There were parts up in the north where you had freedom. There were parts in the country. It wasn't every single black person was a slave, you fool. And I just named you culture, value, all the things. We're Christians. I know you're seeing these new blacks and you think hip hop is black culture. That's not black culture. And that's your ignorance showing there, Professor.
The concept of free, you have to have a foundation on which it would balance when you ask for it.
What does that mean?
Civil right. They give it to you.
They don't only use
I don't know what he's talking about, but go ahead.
Black American struggles in this country to push their agenda. They also use Black Americans.
Before we go further with this gentleman, he hits on a very important point, and I agree with it. But I wish he would put the Democratic Party, because this new whatever progressive party. Because when he was speaking, I wasn't thinking about Haitians. I was thinking about the progressive liberals. using our failure and our success to boost themselves up. But guess who invited everyone here to dinner? The same liberals.
They are our doctors,
Who?
caregivers,
What?
attorneys,
What?
taxi drivers,
What?
the immigrants who keep this United States of ours moving.
Now you see, man, let me go back a little bit because it's not even her goofy self. They just be running their mouths. I don't know why they think that. Listen, I don't know how many black doctors there are, just period. Honestly, forget Haitian, black, Jamaican, whatever, British. I don't think it's that many. Like when you do the whole country, but like you want me to believe this is like a large chunk of them are Haitians. What she's talking about is in her Haitian neighborhood. Because I'm in Florida, and there's a lot of Haitians in Florida, and I'm poor. I'm a poor working class person, so I end up in hospitals and places where, sadly, yeah, she's right. It's mostly like Haitian and immigrant doctors. I don't know why. I don't think I could afford to go see the other doctors. I think they flood them in these poor, really economically deprived neighborhoods. Maybe that's their way of earning their, to move up to the nicer neighborhoods. But she's right, probably in those poor neighborhoods where it's just those people, they probably are filled up with like Haitian doctors and Haitian this, but that ain't what the whole country is, man. You go to most places, there's not even a black doctor a lot of the times.
Keep this United States of ours moving.
You know what's so crazy right now? The people think I'm supposed to give a fuck.
Especially the white liberals. I keep telling y'all about them. They really the problem, man.
About the Haitian and the TPS. Man.
We're gonna talk. I'm gonna break that TPS
citizen.
down.
I'm not Haitian. I'm not on TPS.
I don't know. I don't get that. I don't get
the most of.
All right, he talking to me.
Thanks. I am not.
All right, shut up. All right, now this sister here. This girl here, now listen, she from Florida, man. Listen, I love my Florida FBA out here, bro. I mess with y'all, yo. Florida FBA, bro. Salute. Okay? My little gorgeous FBA sister right here. She gonna break it down. See, I like to tell you, I'm from New York, Jersey area. We got our own like dealings with Haitians. We got a lot of them too, bro. And I'm cool with them. I'm telling you, I'm cool with the Haitians mess with me. This is not personal. This is not personal. This is business. This is like everybody right now, like whether it's Jamaicans next or this group next or that group, Indians. We just, everything got to be cleaned out right now. So like, don't even take it personal, and don't take it from us, because Donald Trump, like, which I support. I voted for him because I want him to do things like this. Honestly, I want him to do more. I don't want him to just do it to Haitians. I want him to do it to Indians too, and Arabs and Somalians. I want him to go with the same energy, and South Americans that don't, everybody, but please don't take it personal. Please don't take it personal. But this sister here is going to break down the fallacies that was going on in Florida, because Florida, they like New York.
So I came to speak up for Florida, right?
Okay.
As a Floridian,
Talk to me.
Okay, because Florida was specifically called out, right, in they victim story.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Floridians was what happened between
I'm
Haitians
here.
and Black Americans in Florida when we were kids.
So, she cute.
Now I done already told y'all that they was musty and dusty and crusty and stuff, right? And I done already told y'all how they was wearing mismatched clothes.
I keep telling y'all, man. Listen, man. I love our sisters, man. Yo, leave FBA alone, bro. Because like, we kind of unhinged already. We are unhinged people, bro. We be just like covering it up, but like, yeah, we could be just as nasty as any redneck you think out there. Like we learned from them. They taught us how to get down and nasty, dirty Irish.
Like that, they had a goddamn ball gown on, and then somebody decided to put a blazer around the ball gown. Mind you, this is in 90-degree fucking weather and shit, so their ass was hot and they was sweating and they was motherfucking funky and shit. Okay. But let's get into it further, okay? Now the reason I believe
she talking about cultural differences, and I get it, and I don't judge anyone for having struggled. The problem I'm having, because listen, again, Black Americans, we are really not ones to talk about much, except the fact that this is something that we need to weigh in on. Sadly, like this is one of the cases, whether we right or wrong, ratchet or whatever, we all need to weigh in on this because we got to build our future in this country. We see in the Black American community, we're gonna have to battle too. Like the conservatives versus these liberals. Like me and her, we ain't on the same page outside of this issue. Women like her don't get along with men like me. But right now, we unified on these issues of preserving, delineating, because we don't see any benefit to working with these groups anymore. We only see harm and loss working with them.
Was mismatched because I never understood why the hell they was mismatched like that. But now that more things have come out since adulthood, okay?
Yeah.
I believe that their parents did not dress them well because they were trying to prevent them assimilating into Black American culture.
Okay, all right. Listen, yo, she cute though. She cute, but she just as ignorant as most of the chicks I met. FB, yeah, that's the thing. Hey, we can't trade. Like, yeah, we can't do a trade. Like, I wish I could do the trade offs, but I don't think that's the reason that they didn't. I think it was poverty issues. I think it was cultural and poverty. I don't think it was like, yo, I don't want. But if she means dress well, meaning like dress, like if we were dressing inappropriately, yeah, they probably didn't want their children. I don't want my children. I'm foundational Black American, and I don't want my children to dress like a lot of Black American children. I don't like that either because we look crazy out here.
I believe that their parents intentionally had them dressed
Well, we're
up
gonna listen to.
like motherfucking Goodwill. Had them dressed up like who the fuck did it and why? Because if they dressed nice in the fashion trends and styles that we had currently at the time, their parents had considered that to be too American. They considered that to be Americanized. Okay. So this was an absolute truth, baby. They used to put 2 inches of hair in a motherfucking big ass fucking bow. Like, how the fuck did you? And so, mind you, their follicles was barely fucking hanging on. Their follicles was barely fucking hanging on because their mama tried to scoop that shit together, baby. They look like the Cynthia
You
doll
know
off
you
Rugrats.
wrong,
Mind
girl.
you, another thing that they had
You
going
know
on
you
because their parents
wrong,
wasn't taking care of
girl.
their heads is they had
Oh
ringworm real bad. I mean, whole
Lord.
half of their motherfucking head,
Oh
fucking ringworm.
girl. You know
I
you
kid you not,
wrong, girl.
ringworm, right? Because they want to say
Listen,
what we was teasing
I
them about.
told
What
you.
was we bullying them for, right? That's why they had motherfucking ringworms and
Okay,
shit.
okay.
Okay,
Okay,
real
we're
bad, real
going.
bad. They also had bed bugs, and they gonna sit up here and lie. There's nothing for y'all to lie about. We witnessed it out. We witnessed it out. We seen it out. Okay.
Okay, all
So
right,
I
all
believe
right.
that
Yeah, the
sometime around
comedy
high
show is
school, because
over.
they said, Haitians
Okay.
came up. Haitians finally, had that turn and had that switch. Yeah, because that's because y'all was no longer under y'all parents' roofs and y'all could finally wear clothes that made sense. Y'all could finally dress the way that y'all wanted to dress. Y'all could finally do y'all hair the way that y'all wanted to do y'all hair. This is why I have said consistently while we're having this conversation that Black Americans was not their biggest op.
Okay.
Nobody else was
Who's
their
the
biggest
op?
op. They mamas
Oh,
was their biggest op because that's the truth. They mamas was the ones intentionally out here doing them dirty because they were trying to separate and differentiate them from Black Americans. Their biggest fucking fear was for their children to be mistaken as a Black American person.
You know, there's some truth to that. I could believe. I still think. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about dressing hip hop, I don't know how old this young lady is. I don't know if she's my age or what, because like I said, but they all came, it was like in the '90s. That's when like the Haitian thing happened. That was like my early college days. Tell you the truth, I wouldn't want my kids to be dressed like that either. And I wouldn't want them to identify with the African American. And that's where me and my people are going to differentiate because me and her probably don't even agree on the idea of like what we should be represented. I believe we should be in, regular clothes, like looking decent, presentable. I believe we should have short haircuts. I don't believe in braids and dreadlocks and diff wicks. Like even though that's not Black American culture anyway, but I don't believe in none of that. And if that's what Black American culture would be, I don't want it tattoos, looking dusty today, like all this grungy stuff, LGBTQ, pocketbook swinging. Like, what's up? What's black? So I'm not buying her argument there, but she cute though. But before I end, remember this is about that. This is about the TPS. And TPS is basically a temporary protection program that was instated, I believe, in 2010 under Obama over the earthquake that was devastating to Haiti. Listen, man, these people have been through some terrible. I don't know what to say though. I know that I feel bad in a way, but not bad enough, because I know there's people all over the world right now living horrible lives. There are people 5 blocks from me right now, 2 blocks from me, that are living horrible lives. So I don't know what to do. I don't think America right now, we got to get our own stuff fixed. And it's not like we got our own problems. And I don't think opening the door to everyone in the world that also have problems, I don't think that's going to help. I know it ain't going to help the Foundation of Black American community. I doubt it helps the American general community any better. So, hey, thanks for hanging out with me, man. It will be what it will be. All right, everybody, peace.